All right, so here's a quick demo to show you how to use fill layers in Photoshop to fill flats or hand sketches. First, I'm going to, I've edited this plaid to be a single repeat tile, and I'm going to define it as a pattern. So I'm going to go Edit, Define Pattern, and we'll just say gray plaid repeat is fine. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go to this flat. You probably wouldn't use this technique for coloring your flats because in Illustrator it's going to be a lot faster to just fill from your swatch panel. But if you have something that's not in a vector format, like a fashion illustration, this is where you'd probably use this. So you would scan in your fashion illustration, clean it up, and then use this method if you wanted to. So to start, I'm going to go into quick mask mode, which is here right underneath your colors. And I'm going to go to the brush. See if I can find my brush. Here we go, brush. And I'm going to start with it being a little bit bigger. And I'm going to make sure that the black colorway is chosen and is on top. And I'm going to start coloring in the sleeve. So I'm just going to do the sleeve for this demo. It's okay if you go outside the lines a little bit because you can go back and clean it up. Just fill it as much as you can, and to erase you can just switch and go to the white color and you can erase. You definitely don't want anything sticking out side of your line. I'm going to go back to the black and let's zoom in, and I'm going to change the size to a lot smaller to get these last bits, and then just erase some of these extra things that I've gotten. It's okay if it goes on to the black outline. Eventually at the end we're going to put a filter on so you won't be able to see any fill. Your black outline is going to end up covering that up. So we can switch over here, just fill all the areas. And switch over. It's a lot easier to do this with the Wacom, I think, because it's almost like just coloring in a coloring book or something. Okay. Forgot to switch it over. Clean that up a little bit. And we'll just finish up this last section here. Okay, so we've got our sleeve, and then you're going to exit quick mask mode the same way you entered, just by clicking there. And as you can see, it's selected everything outside of your sleeve. So this would also be good to use if you're trying to crop out the background of a photo or an image or something like that. But we want to actually select the interior of the sleeve. So I'm going to go to Select Inverse. And now, as you can see, only the sleeve is selected. I'm going to save this selection just in case I need to change it later on. So we're going to go to Select, Save, and I'm going to say left sleeve, and we'll hit OK. Now, if later on I want to do that exact same selection, I don't want to have to go through the trouble of coloring it in, so Command D, done. So now, how do I get that selection back? Select. You go to Load Selection, and then you can go here, left sleeve, OK, and it's selected the same exact pixels. So that'll be really handy if later on you're needing to edit something. Maybe you want to do another colorway really fast. So saving your selections will be very helpful. Then I'm going to, so we selected the inverse. We're going to do a new fill layer. So I'm going to go layer, new fill layer pattern, and we're going to click OK. And as you can see, the patterns come up. You can pick whatever one you want. We just saved this one. And then here you can scale it. So I'm going to scale it to 30%. I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to click OK. Now, as you can see, two things are going on. One, the fill layer is just laying on top. All of my details have disappeared, or underneath, pardon. And also, this is not rotated in the correct position for this shirt. So what you're going to have to do is rasterize the layer before you can edit. So you can do that two ways. You can go here and right click and you can rasterize layer, or you can go up here and go layer, rasterize, layer. So now that that is rasterized, I can go ahead and edit it. So I'm going to first unlink so I can just edit the fill section and not the mask that's masking over and letting us place this fill just in the sleeve. And then I know that it's selected because it's got these white brackets. I could select the mask, but we're going to do the fill. You're going to go to Edit, Free Transform, and then you're going to use, oops, Command Z, your rotation here to rotate it and move it. You can decide kind of how you want your plaid to sit and try and line it up as nicely as you can. I think I'm happy with that, so I'm going to hit Enter. And lastly, to get your black lines to show, you're going to go up here to the Filter drop down and you're going to click Multiply. And as you can see, it's blended this with the layers underneath. And so now your lines are all showing. So again, you probably wouldn't use this method for filling a flat like this since you already have it in vector form. But again, if you have a hand-drawn fashion sketch and you'd like to use fabric to render part of it, I've done that in the past for personal projects and even for really complex paddings or a plaid like this that I just don't feel like rendering. This is a really good way to do that. So hope that this helps.